Here's what the final quadcopter render looks like. I designed everything in Fusion 360 except for the motors. These were pulled off of GrabCAD. I just wanted to see how the quadcopter would look with some motors on it. And here is the body done in Fusion 360. Each piece was split so I could easily 3D print each section. And I did the math. Altogether it was around over 40 hours of 3D printing for just this quadcopter. And inside was shelled out so I could put all the electronics, batteries, ESCs, motors, controller, all the stuff you need to fly one of these. And let's see here, right here was a simple mistake because most quadcopters, right here, this is supposed to be at least another angle down this way. It needed to be the other way because that's the way most quadcopter motors are designed. The way I got around that was I had to do a cutout right here for the cables to go around, and then I just ran it back in and then hooked everything up this way. Another mistake that I made that I didn't think would be a problem until I started flying the quadcopter. Right here under the motors, let's see here if I have a motor I could pull up if it'll give you a better view. Well, here's one. And then which one of this will hide that body? Well, this one doesn't, but well, yeah, they do. The way my motors were designed for the quadcopter that I use, they have giant openings in how do you just a cross configuration, but because I had everything shielded, the motors were overheating way too fast, which was causing the quadcopter to lose its stability and not maintain flight for a prolonged time, as the video shown. Let's see if I can find a picture of the motors that I used. So here's the motors I used for the quadcopter. I'll put a link in the description on where you can purchase them. Underneath, right here, you'll see these 4 openings. This allows the airflow to go through and circulate it a little bit better. With my quadcopter design, it was not allowing that airflow to go through, so these motors got extremely hot, extremely fast. So if you're going to build a quadcopter, make sure that you keep these at least open so that your motors do not overheat or burn up and leave you rather frustrated. Also keep in mind, on my design as well, the side of these little things were also closed off so airflow was not able to circulate through. So just remember, keep the bottom open. So the first time I done this, it was actually pretty difficult. With anything, the first time you do it, it's difficult. The second time you do it takes half the time, and the third time you do it, you could probably do it with your eyes closed. So if this is going to be your first time building a quadcopter, just hang in there and just keep at it. Okay, let's start with the basic foundation. First, we need to click Sketch. We need to go to Circle, and we're going to go to Center Diameter Circle. Or you could hit C for short. You could click the bottom right here, or you could click the top right here. I'm just going to click here, and then I am going to click the center. And now I have the circle. What I will do is just hit 22, or actually I want it to be 21 inches. Then I'll hit enter. And now we got our outer perimeter of the circle. Okay, now you could hit L on the keyboard and that will give you line, or you could go to Sketch and Line. I'm going to start at the center, and then I will have this line. Before I click, I'm going to hit Tab, and I'm going to change this to 45 degrees. Then I'm going to hit tab again, and then I'm able to stretch this line. I'm just going to bring it to that end of the circle, and now I have a line. Great. Now we can go to sketch, we can go to circle, and let's just go with 2-point circle. I'm going to go to the tip of this line that's connected to the circle, and I'm going to stretch it to about, let's just say I accidentally click. What I could do is hit D for dimension, and I could click on this circle. And I know let's see here, the the diameter of my motors that I used is 22.7 millimeters. So let's see here. So if I type in 22.7, I can put millimeters and it'll give me the size of that circle. But the problem is we do not want to do that. So what we could do is we'll make it slightly bigger, because if we make it the exact size of it, it won't really fit in the housing that we are going to create. So let's just go with 30 millimeters and see what that is. So about 1.8. Let's see here. I'd probably feel a little more comfortable if I just change it to 1.5. Gives a little extra room when we shell. Cool. Now that we got that, let's see here. Let's try a rectangle and see what we could come up with. So we'll go to sketch, we'll go to rectangle, and let's go to 3-point rectangle. We could actually, let's do this instead. Let's go to the line, and then we'll click on the circle, and we'll just keep it at a 45. I'll just do the same on this side. We'll trim this up later. Just makes my life easier. I'll go to sketch, go to 3-point, and then we'll go here, here, and here. Now that we got that. Okay, let's hit D for dimension. I want to keep that at 1.5. Yeah, let's just keep it simple. I'm not going to add any curves here. It would make it look better, but this is for tutorial purposes only. Then we'll dimension here. I'm still hitting D and then just clicking the lines. And if you do this, you will get extra, or be over constrained, in other words. Just hit cancel. But if you do hit OK, you'll just get the lines with parentheses. I'll just click on the line, hit delete. Let's see here. That's 7.5. And then whenever here's another simple tip. As soon as I don't know, well, maybe this is the way I have mine set up, but as soon as the dimensions change from blue to black after you dimension it, it's fully dimensioned. Nothing's missing. Alright, now that we got that, let's move on to this piece right here. I'm just going to add in the, what do they call it? The screw holes. The screw, that's a tongue twister for me apparently. The screw holes. And yeah, let's start with that piece. I'm trying to get everything done right away on the flat sketch, so it's easier to take care of, and it just keeps it clean and simple to see. So let's see here. What you could do is you could either take your motor and take calipers and measure it, or you could go online and just pull up a simple drawing like this one. This is pretty close to accurate. You could just take the dimensions off of there, or you could look at here's the Google search of it, or you could look at the actual motor that you purchase and get a general feel for the size of it. So that's what I'll be doing. So what we need to do is, let's just draw a couple more lines just to keep everything simple. We want to do this. We don't want to put the lines here, we want to keep them this way, because that's the first mistake I made on the last quadcopter and it caused a lot of problems. So let me see, let's move this like that. So I'm just going to hit L. I'm just going to click here, and there, and then click here, and here. And I guess we could dimension if you want, but we don't need to really. Sweet. Now we need to make some circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit C for circle. I'm going to go on this line right here, and I'm going to just place one right here. But since we accidentally clicked, we could click on the circle. And I believe the screws that I used were M3 screws. So M3 is just 3mm diameter. So I'm just going to hit 3 mm for 3mm, because I'm in inches. If you want to change though, you could go to this unit thing up here, and then click on the little notepad pencil thing, and then unit type, and then you could just change it. But since I am an American, we'll just keep it with the standard unit. Okay, so let's put another one here now. Let's hit C for circle, and we can make this any size. Let's just make it 0.25 for now. We'll hit enter. So now we have this. Let's see here. Let's just do it the simple way. I was going to just do a sketch and then do a circular pattern, but we'll do that whenever we get this one done. So let's see here. The distance between this one, according to the sketch, and the one over here is 19mm. So half of 19 is what? Well, let's just say I just had a seizure or a stroke and I forgot how to do basic math. What you could do is 19mm and then just hit divided by 2. Hit enter and I'll give you that distance. Okay, so we got that one. Let's do another circle. Let's go to here, and that one needs to be an M3 again. Or yep, M3. So 3mm. We'll hit enter. Oops. That's what happens when you don't have everything dimensioned all the way. You can move it around. We'll hit D for dimension again. And let's just do it from this one to this one. So D, click here, or there, I guess we'll do it that way. 19 divided by 2 millimeters. That'll give us that distance. Mouse is starting to flicker a little bit, but that's alright. It shouldn't show up in the video though. We'll do another circle. We'll click here. We'll drag it all the way out. We'll change this to 3mm. We'll hit enter. Dimension here, here, and I'll just say 16mm divided by 2. Great. Do the same thing here. Since we accidentally click, we'll just hit D for dimension. We'll change this to 16mm. Oops. I'll change this to 3mm. We'll click here to here, and we'll change that to let's just change it to 16mm divided by 2. Excellent. Now we got those, but it's not fully dimensioned because it didn't turn black. But to keep this tutorial short, I'm going to skip this part and I'll just let you do that. Okay, so that we got that. Now what we could do is we could go to sketch, we'll go to circular pattern, and we'll select our objects. I'm just going to select these circles first, and then I'll just select these lines, and I'll call it a day. We'll hit select, and I'll just click the center. Yeah, you can make it a try, but let's make it a 4. Okay. So all I did was I just selected the objects I wanted to revolve around this point. Selected them, then clicked on the center point, and then clicked on the center point. I'll just hit OK. Just pick a point here, let's hit alpha line, and then let's just have it go up like, I don't know, 3.5. 3.5. And let's try it this way then. Let's just go with arc, 3-point arc. And this should give a simple follow point. And then you can put it there, you can put it there, you can put it anywhere. We'll just put it around a spot. Hit T for trim to get rid of this, because it's not needed. And we hit D for dimension, we could just see where it's at. I'm just going to leave it at that. And then we could finish the dimensioning up, but I'm not going to do that. We could click on this if you want to keep it all simple and uniform, or we can do each, like these two the same, and then these two like a different size. So let's just try that real quick. Let's just click on that. Let's click on center pattern again. We have our object selected. Select the center point. We'll change it to 2, and it'll stop there. Hit OK. We got those. Now let's do another one. Let's make it a little smaller. So let's go to line. Let's make this like, let's make it 2.5. We'll go to sketch. Arc, 3-point arc. From that point to that point, and let's just put it there. That looks all right-ish. And then let's hit T for trim, and let's just get rid of these lines. D for dimension, that's where it's at. I'll let you dimension the rest. We'll go to sketch, and then we'll go to circular pattern. We have it already selected, but let's say you don't. Just have the selected highlighted. Click the line, center point, click it, and we'll click the center point. But it's adding too much, so we'll just drop it down to 2. Hit OK. And let's just go with that for now. Now let's hit E for extrude again, and it wants us to select the things you want to extrude. Like before, we'll just click all the little areas that we want extruded and exclude the ones that we don't. Remember, it's not good not to dimension everything fully. That will be your job, and it'll actually be a good little learning. Okay, I got those. And now what we could do is we could hit the center mouse wheel and rotate this way, or we could just play with our cube over here. There's 2 ways you could go about, well, there's actually probably infinite. You could drag it and then pull it up, or you could just input your numbers right here. Let's just make it 3 inches tall, and we want it to be a new body. We could do it symmetrical, or we could do it the whole length. I prefer symmetrical and whole length because it keeps everything centered, and if I need to find center point on this part, if I'm on the front, it's just quick and easy. Alright, there's our basic form. Let's hit OK. It's starting to look like a quadcopter. Or a chromosome and some telomeres in the tips. Alright, now that we got that, let's do let's do the shaping real quick. So what I'm going to do is just going to hit sketch, I'm going to hit ellipse, and I'm going to select the front plane, and I'm just going to put my ellipse here. Actually, I don't want to put it there. And also, if you want to just right click, you can repeat the thing. Let's start in the center and then pull it out to, I don't know, depends on where you want it. I'm not being exact as I should. And then we'll pull this up. Let's see here. We could do it here, we could do it that high, we could do it that to make it more aggressive, more flatter. Just for uniform's sake, I'll just do it there. We'll hit enter. Now we have our ellipse. Now I want to hit O to offset. I'm going to click on the lines, and I'm just going to drag it out. Now let's just drag it here. I'm going to hit OK, and then it should offset it out. That's odd, it didn't. Let's try it again. O, that, offset, OK. Now we'll hit E for extrude. We'll select the outer part of the offset, and I'll just change it to symmetrical both ways. You could input your numbers here if you want to be precise, or you can just drag this arrow and just pull it out. Hit OK. Now you got one slightly beveled area. Let's do the left side now. Pretty much the same process. We'll just go to sketch, ellipse, select our plane we want to use, center point, and I don't know, let's just do it there. And we'll do that. We'll hit O to offset, and out, and then we'll hit OK. We'll hit E to extrude, and we'll all the way out. And we'll do two sides. Whoops, we don't want to do two sides. We want to do symmetrical. And we'll just hit OK. Oh, now we're getting an interesting profile. Let's see, what else can we do? The way I did it in the and this is not a way I would recommend doing. I'm just giving you an example of what you could do. What I actually did in the tutorial was, let me show you that way instead. This way will probably frustrate you. So we'll delete those. My mouse is disappearing. We'll delete that sketch, we'll delete that, and we'll delete that one. What I did was I did offsets from the plane, or the origins. So what I do is I'll just hit the light bulb on the origin. I'll go to construct, and I'll just, let's just click on, let's see, what plane should we do? You can do offset plane, and if you click on that plane, I'll just offset it up and do its offsetting stuff, but we don't want to use that one. We want to use, where's mine at? Plane at an angle, select a line. We'll select the green line, come on, green line, and we'll angle it at 45 degrees. We'll hit enter. Now we got our 45-degree line. And let's go to sketch again. Let's go to ellipse, and we'll just hover around and we'll just go on that offset. We'll hit the center and we'll drag it out to, let's drag it out to 21.001. Did my line disappear? It must have. Alright, let's do that again. So let's go to sketch, ellipse, we'll hit the center, we'll change this to 21.001, we'll click, and then we will make our ellipse size, let's just make it 3. Let's just make it 3 on the point. We'll hit O for offset, select the line, drag out, hit OK. We'll hit E to extrude, and we will change it to two-sided. Actually, let's do symmetrical. And then our OK is grayed out, so we'll click the middle mouse wheel and we'll turn it around and then we'll pull out and hit OK. Excellent, we got that one done. Now let's do this side. Let's do the same thing. We'll go to construct, plane at angle. Well, I'll select the green line again and we'll change it to 45. And do I see it? Yep, I see it. We'll hit enter. And the same thing. We'll go to ellipse. We'll select our plane, pick our center point, pull out to, let's see, 21.001. I'll click and I'll pull this up to 3. I'll hit O. I'll select my offset. I'll pull up and then I'll hit OK. I'll select this piece right here, hit E for extrude. One-sided, we'll do two-sided. Whoops, not two-sided, keep saying that. Symmetrical, whole length, and then we'll pull. Well, if you do it that way, I'll just make that. And let's see here. Let's do a cut. Did it make the area I wanted? Yep. See, it says no target body found at intersection. Because it's getting confused. Because whenever you try to pull it out, where is that? It's just following this pattern right here. And because we picked the wrong one. So if you see that problem, don't worry, don't panic. It's not going to because there's nothing for it to cut, because it's just following the same line. So you're good, nothing to worry about. We'll hit cancel, and let's just delete this. Well, we hit stop sketch first and then we'll delete it. We don't want that. We'll click that and we'll hit delete. Delete and delete. Let's try it again. We want to use this plane right here so that we could pull it down. So we'll do it again. We'll go to construct, plane angle. We'll click on that angle, hit 45, plus 45. We'll hit OK. Now we got our angle. Whoops, I made a mistake. We'll just edit that real quick. Let's just do another plus 45. Okay, we'll hit enter. We'll go to sketch, ellipse, and then we'll click on that angle. We'll hit the center. And we'll change it to 21.001. We'll hit, whoops, if you hit enter, it won't finish its ellipse. We'll repeat it though. Let's go at 21.001, click, and then pull it up to the number you want. I'm gonna make, let's see here. Let's make my top a little more, let's just change it to 3. We'll hit O, and we'll offset. And okay. If you're doing this for real though, try to keep it more professional than what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep it simple. Now we have our offset. We'll hit E for extrude. We'll pull it out, change it to symmetrical, and hit OK. Looky there, we're getting our basic shape now. Sweet! Now what we could do is, let's see, do I want to do it that way again? Yeah, we'll do it. Let's start with, let's start with that. We'll click top. Wow, that is an ugly drone. Let's see here, turn it around. But usually the first time you do anything, it's ugly. But this will give you the basic foundation to create any type. Okay, so we got that. We could shell it first. But if we shell it first, we don't have all of our screw points. Just trying to decide if I want to do that first. Actually, do you know what? I will have you do that. Yeah, it's pretty simple. All you do is just put holes in the bottom before you shell it, and then figure out what your size is going to be for your screw. So you make, let's just say you're using an M3 screw, make the hole an M6 screw or bigger, and then the second hole and the midpoint or wherever you want it, make it the M3, and then slice it in a certain area, because if you don't slice it right, the screw won't take. But that's not too complicated. We got that. Let's see here. Do I want to do the shell command next? It's kind of fun. Nah, we're gonna have to wait. Alright, go to top. And let's do C for circle. And we'll just click on the plane. And I'm just gonna use this center circle, maybe, if it takes. Since it's not taking, I'm just going to go to sketch. I'm going to go to circle, and then I'm just going to go to 2-point circle and see if I can find a taker here. Might be able to get away with that. Alright, got that one. So then I'm going to hit C for circle again. And let's just see what 27.7 millimeters looks like. So it's about that size. So that would be the size of the motor. So we're gonna have to make it slightly bigger. So yeah, let's just make it 1.26. All right, we got that. What else do we need for the motor? Let's see here. I'm just going to make mine slightly larger. Let's see, what size was this? Change it to 0.13, and we'll go from here to here. And let me think, what was it again? That would be, is this the smaller one or big? This is the bigger one, so that's 19, so that's going to be 19 millimeters divided by 2. And that's centered. Let's do the same, 0.13. Oops, not 3, 2. That's centered enough. I think this is, yep, that's 16, so 16 millimeters divided by 2. This is 16 millimeters divided by 2. Oops, that's the wrong thing. This is supposed to be 13.13. And this is supposed to be 16 millimeters divided by 2. Alright, those look like they're centered. They're not fully dimensioned, but that's up to you. Excellent. Now we'll go to our sketch, circular pattern, and select what we want to turn around. Now we need our center point. change this to 4. Looks good from what I could tell. Not okay. I'll just hit E to extrude. Select those. Points. And it looks like it should work this time. Oh, sheesh. What am I doing? Should have made them smaller. Funny me. Silly, silly me. Well, I'll just go to edit. And see these little line circles things? We'll just change that to 0.1. Actually, you know what? We don't need to now. I'll just change that to an M3. Funny how that works, huh? Okay. We got that now. So your easy assignment for you guys to do is just make some slots here and just some opening vents so that your motors don't overheat. But you could do this with flat quadcopters too. Flat ones are a lot easier to make. All it is just literally all it is just a flat plane, extrude it up a little bit, and then just your cut, and then you're done. No talent taken for that. So let's see, we have that. We could probably shell it and slice it. Before we do that, let's just do a little fillet review. Just gonna modify fillet, and we'll just select the things that we wanna have a little more rounded. Okay, we got those, and then you could just start pulling out. And if you pull out too much, you get a flying pizza oven thing. Might be something you want. Let's see here. You can keep pulling in a little bit more and more. Let's change it to 1. Let's see what 1 looks like. See what 12 looks like. It's kind of cool, actually. Have like a flying squirrel looking thing. Let's try 5. Yeah, it looks kind of clean. Yeah, let's just go with 5. Hit OK, and let the computer do its computer stuff. There's a lot more to do to this, but I just want to get you the basic foundational stuff down that I used to make my quadcopter. Here's another main component that you would want to know how to do. We're going to go to Patch. Then we're going to go to Sketch, and then we're going to go to Line. Let's see, what plane do I want? Let's do the front plane. We'll click on that, and then it doesn't really matter what, well, it kind of does, but just make a line about this size. Click, and then we have a line. And what I want to do is I want to click on this line, and then go to Modify. I want to go to Create, and then I want to go to Extrude. Now it's going to extrude a plane out. But before we do that, let's just click Symmetrical, Whole Length. Let's do no body, why not? And then just pull it out. What this will do is this will give us a plane that is right in the center of the quadcopter. We'll hit OK, and we'll have something that looks like that. What we'll do is go out of Patch and go back into Model. we'll go to modify, and then we'll go to surface body. We'll click on that. It's going to want us to select the body to split. We'll just click on the drone, quadcopter. Well, it's a quadcopter because you're flying it, but it's a drone if it flies autonomously. I just couldn't resist. Alright, so we'll have this selected, the body selected, and then we'll just click the tools to split. It will be that. Everything looks good. And we'll hit OK. And now it's split. So right here in bodies, we'll drop it down a little bit. Here's that one flame, let's see here. That one body that we created. We'll just hit that and it'll go away. And now you have a split quadcopter. And then you can just click on this body here to hide that one. Or you click the bottom one, light bulb to hide that one. Excellent. Alright, let's hide the top one for now. Another main takeaway from this tutorial would be to shell. Oops, I hit sculpt. Don't want to do sculpt. Let's go back to model. You want to go to, let's see here, where's it at? Shell. Go to modify, click shell. And then it's going to ask you to select a face. We'll select that face, and then we'll change the sharpness to 0.03 or something. And then I'll start shelling it out for us. But maybe you want, like, I don't know, maybe 0.1 thickness to beef it up if you ever want to 3D print your own enclosed quadcopter. Nice thing about it is you could hit control and you could just kind of compare what it was before and after. Also, when it shells, all your little screw holes get shelled around as well, so that you don't have to worry about that. So before you do shell though, make sure you take care of your holes that you want to put in the frame if you ever do this. And then when you shell, then you'll have those screw holes here as well to put your screws in. And I'll just keep it at 0.1. And okay. Done. Sweet. Oh, where did that come from? We'll delete that. And then we'll go to the top body and we'll rotate around, and pretty much the same thing. Modify, shell, 0.1. Did I make the error? Yes. Okay. So what happened here is that it's 0.1 is too big for it. So what we'll do is we'll just change it to 0.05, and that will work. The reason why 0.1 isn't really working is because we're having issues here. I'm kind of curious how far this one goes. Okay, so 0.7 seems to be the max. 0.6 works, I guess. But just to keep in mind that you'll run across that error. And if you're trying to shell, it might be because you're running across issues like this and it's too big. So we'll just keep it at 0.6 for that one. You could change the next one to 0.62 just to keep it consistent. And we'll just hit OK. Alright, so we got the top part of the frame, and now we got the bottom part of the frame. That should do it for this tutorial, really. Nothing really complicated. Just remember those main ideas and you will do fine. And let me open up one of, let's see here, where's it at? Where I don't want you to see some of the projects I'm working on. Let me open this one up. On yours, what you need to do is you're going to have to add these in. That's why it's important to have your holes right before the shell so that the shell could go around and take care of those for you. Also, keep in mind that you're going to want to keep a slight small piece right there when you're doing it, because if you keep this thing just the same thickness and all the way up, your screw won't have anything to attach onto. So you're going to have a slight close off and then a small hole the size of the screw so that the top ones could fit, like, let's see here, like something like this. Which one is this one? We'll hide that one. So let's see, an example would be the screw size for this holes will always be the same opening, but you're going to want that to catch on to, well, a little glitch there, something like that, so that it knows where to click on, so that it can hold the quad. Otherwise it'll just fly away from you. Or you can just rubber band the heck out of it. That works too. So that should do it for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned some basic main ideas, and I hope that you're able to create your own quadcopter after this. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.